Everybody, welcome today. We're going to start this routine in a child's pose with our shoulder variation. So coming down to sitting back on your feet, forehead on the ground, arms are bent and the hands are reaching behind your upper middle back as far as they can go. Keep your elbows close to your head and little by little let your elbows scoot further forward. That'll increase the shoulder stretch. Child's position with our shoulder variation will be for 2 minutes. This is a really good time to start working that breathing. See if you can start to narrow your focus down just to your breathing and see if you can start to take every single breath that you take to full capacity. I want you to try to maintain deep breathing this entire routine today. You have 1.5 minutes left to go. You now have 30 seconds left for this first pose in today's routine. All right, we will now come out of this position, and our next pose is called thread the needle. So come up to hands and knees, take your right arm and thread it towards the left wall as you bring your right shoulder and your cheek to the ground. You should feel a subtle stretch in the outer right shoulder, but definitely nothing extreme. Try to approach this position passively. Try to find a place where you feel the stretch happening, but it's not overwhelming or irritating. Thread the needle for another 45 seconds on this side. Now, let's go ahead and change into the other arm for thread the needle. Your left arm threads towards the right wall, palm down, left shoulder and the left side of your face relaxed on the ground. In this position, your right arm, it doesn't really matter what you do with it. Some people prefer to keep it extended out in front of their head. Some people like to wrap it around behind their back. Those are both fine variations of this pose. 45 seconds left. All right, come out of that position, and the next pose is called puppy dog. So from hands and knees, I want you to slide your arms as far forward with your hands wide as shoulders, palms down, forehead on the ground, or further if you can to get your throat on the ground looking forward. Puppy dog focuses into our upper back as well as our front upper torso of our body. We will be in this position for 2 full minutes. Now there is another variation of this pose which you could do on a chair or a couch. So if you have that available and you know that variation, that's also fine. 1 minute and 40 seconds left for this puppy dog. Remember to keep breathing those breaths deep as you can breathe them, and remember to keep falling and surrendering into these positions. No action and nothing forced. And now your last 30 seconds for this pose. Okay, now let's come out of this position, and our next pose is called saddle, including the reverse shoulder stretch. So your knees will be wide apart, feet together, sitting on your feet. But with this variation, you have to be able to lean back so you can put your hands behind you, and you're going to actually turn your fingers towards the wall behind you and bring your pinky fingers closer to each other. Now the issue with this is that you have to be able to lean back in the saddle, and if you're not able to lean back in the saddle, then we would just say sit on your butt, bring your hands behind you, get your fingers to point towards the wall behind you, and little by little slide your pinky fingers closer together. Now to increase the stretch for your shoulders, you're going to scoot your knees subtly further forward. Now it's so subtle, it's hard to really move in this pose, so you want to just take your time and be patient. If you're sitting on your butt, it's easier to scoot your butt further forward so you can increase the shoulder stretch. We're only here for another 30 seconds. So now coming out of this position, and our next pose is called seated cross shin position. It's a very simple position. You're just sitting on the ground, and your right shin will be crossed in front of your left shin. You can also scoot your right leg further in front of your left shin by maybe 6 to 12 inches, but make sure you leave your right knee bent the entire time. Now once you have your legs situated, I want you to fall forward with your body, your torso, let your head dangle free, and if you can, walk your hands or rest on your forearms in front of you. You should feel this one in your lower back as well as through your hips. Mainly on this side, it'll be more focused on the right hip. This will be our longest held pose for today's routine, a full 4-minute pose. Relax completely into your bones. Let your head dangle free, soften your face, and continue to pay close attention to your breathing. And you now have 3 minutes to go for this position on this side. You are now down to your last minute for this side. All right, let's go ahead and come out of this position. And all we're going to do is change to the other side. So let's go ahead and take the left leg in front of the right leg. You can scoot that left leg further out in front of you if you like. And then when you feel like you are ready, I want you to fall forward into this pose. Let that body fall into position in a passive state. You have 4 minutes starting now. You now have 2 minutes, everybody, 2 more minutes in this simple seated cross shin position. let's go ahead and roll out of this position. And from here, we're going to lie down on our back. From lying down, squeeze your right knee into your chest, where we will just do our simple supine twist. Right arm to the right wall, palm down. Left hand pulls the bent right knee to the left wall so that you twist your back. Supine twist for 1 minute on this side. These are the last minutes of this routine today. Try to continue to stay connected to your breathing and relax that body as much as you can. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and change sides now. So come back up with that knee and just switch it out with the left leg. Left leg squeezes in, left arm opens towards the left wall, palm down, right hand pulls the knee to the right wall for a very simple twist. Your last minute for this pose. Okay, come on up with that leg and then just to let it go so that you're lying down on your back. And everybody, you've officially made it to the last of the last, the rebound effect. Stay for a few minutes if you have the time, but we'll say for this routine, it's going to be over at this point. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow.